Right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Baruch HaKodesh, to honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa'akwath, learning, teaching in truth and sincerity, and of the video through the Spirit. Your brother Malak from GMS Detroit. Hey, man, in light of recent events, right, that island stuff, the, young one touchers that are in your government, these politicians and whatnot. Here it is, y'all. We were just doing the live stream. Here in Detroit, we do a little Friday get together lesson, and then of course we go out to camp Saturday. But here it is, we doing a lesson. We got music playing in the background. On YouTube, right? Commercials play randomly, so a commercial plays randomly in the video. Then this commercial comes up. Brothers is talking, pulling out scriptures, breaking things down. I just happen to look up and catch the TV, and I see this fucking commercial. And this commercial apparently came out 3 days ago, y'all. I'm gonna let this commercial play. They're playing in our faces. The elite don't care if you know their plans. They don't care if certain secrets get revealed. The lower common public, A, doesn't have power to do anything, and B, is so divided. They don't have the willpower and they don't have the knowledge to do anything about it. So they can taunt you in your face just like this. Look at Ritz Island, y'all. Immediately off deck. This should look bad. If I was owning a company right now, I wouldn't be advertising any kind of islands and with things that have been going on recently in the news. So let's let it play. Let's see what's going on.
Another day, another Ritz party. Why didn't they invite us?
Well, we're salty. We hate parties and mingling and yapping.
They do have all the Ritz crackers, though. That salty, buttery flavor. Let's go for 5 minutes.
I'll only go if my feet don't have to touch the sand at all.
Hey, Salties, what's the holdup? It's party time.
The holdup is, wait.
Not me. Let's go, Scarlett.
Loved by everyone, even the saltiest.
Ritz party! Loud, so loud. Put the down on.
Y'all, and this, I ain't finna do no 100-hour deep dive breakdown on this trailer, but y'all see what's going on. They're on an island. People are down at the bottom partying while they're up top observing, and you got them eating on the crackers. What do you think the crackers are, man? They're on an island. What do you think the fucking Ritz crackers symbolize? Who is the PR guy? With all the things going on in the news, this was the idea? Y'all, they're clearly witches, warlocks, and wizards. They clearly practice occultism, right? They clearly don't care if you know. Give me 1 second, y'all. They don't give a damn, y'all. They don't give a flying damn, and they'll have actors, portray people, entertainers, and they don't care because they know you're not gonna do anything about it. They went and got Scarlett Johansson asking, she getting old now, right? But she was one of them things back in the day. What the hell is going on? And I'm gonna get one of the scriptures that we brought out during the video right here. Perfect. I'm gonna start at 3. This is Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 3. It says, "For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh and the feast of blood." Y'all, the Heavenly Father had us expunge and wipe out the Hamites that were in our land before us for their many different forms of sin. Chiefly, right, idolatry and what? Child sacrifice, y'all. So what do you think is going to happen in Babylon? What do you think has to happen to this country? What do you think is going to happen with the hierarchy? These people, it's not a joke. It's not if they do these demonic practices in the shadows But now they're so bold and blatant. They have so much power, they don't mind flexing in front of you. Because what are you going to do about it? You're just going to turn this off and go watch NBA. Go watch Love Island, right? Go watch Atlanta Housewives, Love and Hip Hop, whatever. The Heavenly Father, He's given us insight to know what's going on behind closed doors, and it's some foul things going on behind closed doors. Verse 6, it says, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help. This is a real thing that goes on in the world. There are wizards, witches, and warlocks who practice rituals that involve so-called innocent young ones. The Hamites did it in ancient times in our land. These people are doing it again today, and they're playing in your fucking face. They're making commercials. They make little songs. They have code words and phrases. It's a joke and it's a game to them.
Another day, another Ritz party. Another day and...
I'm sorry, y'all. Bingo. Who is the PR guy right now? Who authorized this? Is all I'm saying. With the climate right now, are you kidding me? Oh, where are the comments? Of course there's no comments. Of course. Because we'd have been tearing them up in the comments. Yeah. Comments disabled? Of course they are. Of course they are. Of course. Right here and now, you know, I had made mention of this at the video, and brothers have gone into this before me. The old religion, it says, most commonly refers to ancient, often polytheistic, meaning multiple gods, or animistic belief systems that existed before the widespread adoption of major modern faiths like Christianity. These, along with early forms of Hinduism dating back to 4,000 years and Judaism, are considered some of the oldest active religions. It can also denote fictional magic systems or So essentially, y'all, paganism, polytheism, it says before Christianization, various forms of indigenous, polytheistic, or nature-based spiritualities were prevalent globally. I want to get let me see. I thought nature worship right here, veneration. Let me get over. Veneration of deities associated with elements like fire, sky, storms, and water. Polytheism, belief in multiple gods rather than a single creator. Right here, this part, right? So this has been going on for a long time. The heathens have always worshipped things that were not responsible for creation. Because remember, y'all, hey, we didn't get the scrolls at the very beginning. You know, the Heavenly Father dealt with Adam directly, and then he passed down orally what we were supposed to be doing. We didn't get the physical laws and commandments until Moses, quite literally, right? We had them orally. They were understood as our culture, but we got them line for line, literally, physically, as Moses. So before then, what were we surrounded by? All forms of idolatry. You know, the fire god of this, the lizard god of that. And if you think that's gone away just because niggas have tuxedos and BMWs now, you're a damn fool. These elites still work on the left-hand side of those old idols. And they're nothing but just left-hand side angels, you know, who are allowed to get power for a time. But when they're confronted, when they have to do what the Heavenly Father tells them to do, you know, then they're stripped of that power. Let me get that out of, what is that, in James, right? The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is the only true God, right? His son, Yahweh Shai. That's it. It's Yahweh and it's Yahweh Shai. The other idols don't exist, right? They're simply left-hand angels taking on characters. But then nevertheless, these people, these heathen, pray to them, and they're allowed to have power for a time. All right, James 2:19. It says, thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. Bingo. So the left-hand side spirits and the right-hand side spirits, they all obey Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, right? You go to Revelation 4, you go to Revelation 5, the angels that bow down to the throne of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. And then when Yahweh Shai came in, to redeem us, right? He sacrificed himself. He was given that authority. The spirits know this, but these people down here on the world don't. So they'll pray to these idols, they'll do these rituals, they'll be given the ability to do something on the left-hand side. Matter of fact, y'all, you go to Acts. Hey, you had men were given power to deceive. But when they step to our power, they get knocked down. So Esau Edom, y'all, he's doing all this. He's boasting in his left-hand side wickedness. He's being extremely bold about it. But in the end of it, he will lose. Make no mistake about it. Let me get I know we have the man Simon here. There's another man I want to get. Give me 1 second. Okay, you have this man here, Simon. He's one as well. Let me just read this real quick. I'm gonna get him, and then I'm gonna get the other one. This is Acts 8:8. It says, Acts 8:9. It says, but there was a certain man called Simon, which before time in the same city used sorcery, and bewitched the people of Samaria, giving out that himself was some great one, to whom they all gave heed, from the least to the greatest, saying, this man is the great power of God. And to him they had regard, because that of long time he had bewitched them with sorceries. So yeah, there's left-hand side witchcraft that these people are allowed to make use of, y'all. That's why they do these little fucking freakazoid. Wait a minute. You come right here to this movie. Yeah, man, y'all, and this came out in 1999, right? See, back then, oh, nigga, that's just a movie, nigga. Oh, nigga, that's Tom Cruise, nigga. Right? I forget that white bitch's name. Wait, what's her name? Is that her? Which one is her? Which one? Kidman. Something Kidman. I forget the bitch's last name, right? But you see, they put on these clothes, they put on these masks, they stand in darkness, they chant words in Latin and whatnot. They have odors going. They have the heart of a leopard here and the paw of a goddamn bunny over here. They do these things. They call on these spirits, and they get a little bit of power in the world. And they've been doing it for a long time. So they believe that they're going to keep getting success in it. But soon they're going to be packed out. Because all spirits have to acknowledge Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and have to bow down. Hey, that example in Matthew, the 8th chapter. Art thou come hither to torment us before the time? That was the spirit speaking to Yahweh Shai. Esau Edom's time is almost up, man. And so they're getting real fucking bold. Making this movie itself was bold back in 1999, but what? The world was under a bigger spell of darkness, right? I'll say, niggas was jungle fever in 1999, right? Y2K was around the corner, right? The knowledge wasn't out there as much as it is today. So you could drop a movie like this and motherfuckers would not think too much of it compared to how we do now. Right here, we got a 2-for-1. Acts 13:6. It says, and when they had gone through the isle unto Paphos, they found a certain sorcerer, a false prophet, a Jew, whose name was Bar Jesus, or son of Joshua, Bar Joshua, right? Bon Joshua, which was the deputy of the country. Sergius Paulus, a prudent man, who called for Barnabas and Saul and desired to hear the word of the power. So on the travels of the apostles, right? They would run into niggas who was practicing witchcraft, and they would confound them in the names of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Verse 8, it says, but Elymas, the sorcerer, for so is his name by interpretation, withstood them, seeking to turn away the deputy from the faith. Bingo. So I bring all this out just to show you that there's real people in this world that have access to that left-hand side activation. These elites who run Hollywood, who run the monetary system, who control the world, they real ass deal on the left-hand side, and they real ass promote all kinds of wicked imagery in front of us. And what can you do about it? Not a whole lot, right? They got the power. You know, they got the power. Let me get over, y'all. It's tripping. Let me jump down to this. Jude. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? One second, y'all. I know I'm looking right at it. I always do this. I know it's right in front of me. Damn it. But just type it in. Oh, no, that's why. Duh, it was actually elsewhere. Okay, 2 Timothy 3, I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the flesh. And now, who are Jannes and Jambres? The two Egyptian sorcerers who, Moses cast down his staff. It turned to a serpent. They cast down theirs. It turned to a serpent. But what happened? Let me get that. Let me do this. At the end of it all, this is where I'll end it. So we'll end on some hope. Right here, Exodus 7 and 10. It says, And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as Yahweh commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods. Bingo. So, these fuckers, they can work on the left-hand side and do things as well. But when the right-hand side works, the Heavenly Father Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai, it carries away the victory. It's the greater side. So these demons, they can, damn it, they can do what they do. They can make fun of us. They can, taunt us in our face. But Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to pull them down in the end of it all. So they better enjoy their Ritz Island and all that other wicked shit while they have it. Because when it's done, it's fucking done, y'all. Hey, stay prayed up out here. We fight on the right-hand side, and these devils are fighting on the left. You best believe it, y'all. Hey, so I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachakurash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim wa Aqua, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom.